Yeah, no, really pleased with the road trip. I would have loved to have made it 3-1 and got that Connecticut game. But credit to them, they played really well. But no, to get those 2 wins, very happy. I think we're just kind of messaging to the team today was I feel in a pretty good place where the offense is at. It's really taking the defense to the next level. So we really just watched our defense against Minnesota, and then more of the practice design was reflected on what we need to get better at, more specifically with some of our transition, just the gap supports and the spill situations when we're at a disadvantage. And then I think it was a real tale of two halves with our pick and roll execution. So yeah, we focused on that a lot today. I think there will be some similar carryovers to the Dallas game.
This last game against Minnesota looked a lot different than the first.
Yeah.
But what does it say just about the growth of the team? The fact that
Yeah, absolutely. I think, watching it back, I mean, it was one layup from Sarah would have made it a 4-point game, and then a 3 from SA would have made it a 1-possession game. And so to bring it back from, I think it was 19 at the start of the fourth, I mean, they have got so much better as a group. So that is really encouraging. And I still feel like we have a long way to go yet. So that's what's even more exciting about this in terms of, we've seen the improvement in 2.5, 3 months. I think, once we've had an off season, a season or two, the improvement will just keep getting better. But no, I'm very happy with the trajectory. Yeah.
You guys have a really tough 3-game stretch coming up. Wings, Aces, and Fever again. I guess as a coach, from the eagle eye view, what's the focus going into this run of games?
Yeah, so I think all different game plans, three very different teams. I think our special player defense needs to be really good in terms of how we're adjusting for the most unique offensive players on each team. But yeah, just starting with this Dallas game, I think obviously some unique threats posed there. I think a combination of creative off-ball screening actions, and then how Jessica Shepard's being used with some 5-out actions, some invert pick and roll, and then of course you've got Paige. So definitely going to test our defense in multiple different ways. So we just got to be prepared for all the things we're going to see, and then just be ready to go and execute our base covers.
We've talked a lot over the past week about Sarah. She's had a really good run of games, especially with Megan, at her wedding. But Frida has also been playing really strong minutes for you guys, shooting like 67% from 3-point. Is this the Frida you've always known that you were going to get that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you see it all the time just in practice in terms of it's surprising when she misses. So I think that's always normal. It takes time for players new to this league to just acclimatize when you're looking at shooting in terms of just the length and athleticism in the W compared to Europe. It's, what you think is an open shot is different because the defense can arrive much quicker and get there. So I think we spent a lot of time actually just going through our pick and pop stuff today in practice, and I think that's something we're getting a lot out of, having shooting 4s and 5s, and I think it's something you don't see much of in the W. So I really want to keep exploiting that as much as we possible and kind of force teams to have very solid game plans for how they're defending us there. And I think Frida's shown a lot of growth in that area, just in terms of how she's creating advantages to then get her threes and get an open 3 when she is popping.